Hey everybody, welcome to the Rise or Die podcast with Stephen M. Lowisz, episode 48, Invest More Than You Have. One of the things, and I've talked about this a little bit before, but one of the things that I used to always do is I would come home from a long day of work and I would tell my wife how hard I was trying to invest in our marriage and invest in us and in our future and yada, yada, yada. I used to kill it in sales. When I was employed, I'm doing very well in sales now, but when I was employed, I started out the first 2 years of my 4 really strong. I did $1 million plus in sales at age 19. How many can say that? Okay, but then I kind of rested on my laurels and I was getting sidetracked because I wanted to get into entrepreneurship. So for the next 2 years, I significantly lacked results. So 2 years of, awesome results, 2 years of shitty results at best, and now here's where I'm at. I used to tell my dad, who I worked for, that I was trying super hard, that I was giving him everything that I have, just like I would tell my wife. And when I look back on it, I was checking the boxes. I was checking boxes, not actually giving everything that I had. The results showed, right? Like, one of the biggest concepts I learned was that results are the only thing that matter. Effort doesn't fucking matter. But that's what most people are judged by. That's why, instead of results, we're judged by, okay, did we work 40 hours a week? I don't care if it takes you 80 hours or 30 hours. Do the job and then call it a day. Do the job to its fullest and then call it a day. That's what work should be. Now, the reason that I bring this up is because it's very applicable to my life today. I have, in fact, let me turn around and look at my board. I have 105 hours worth of work to do between me and right now an employee and a half. He's going to be full-time as of next week. So I have essentially 3 people worth of work. That wasn't proper English, but whatever. Because keep in mind, I still have to do the books. I have to pay everyone. I have to market. I have to sell my own company. So I have more than 3 people's worth of work. Again, bad English. It's more like 4. And it's really easy for me to look at my whiteboard and look at all the clients that I have and say, okay, I worked these amount of hours. And then quit after I hit those hours. Hey, client, I get to bill you. But what I'm adamant about now, which has changed for me, is I'm adamant about results. If a client gives me 80 hours worth of work in a month, guess what? I don't care if it takes me 79 or if it takes me 102. I'm going to get the results that the clients need to do right by them. I also am now willing to do what is necessary to actually get my marriage in a better spot. And it has come a long way. We still have a little ways to go. But if you want to, give it the old rating system, we went from a 1 to an 8. There's always room for improvement, right? And now I'm looking at the 2 employees that I have. I'm building them from the ground up. It's easy to get frustrated by a lack of results and expect things from others. But in reality, as an employer, it's my job to train and coach them. And guess how much of that I've done in the last, 3 weeks? Well, none. I've been too wrapped up in everything else that I haven't actually invested into my own company. I'm busy investing into my clients' companies. And I feel like I'm giving everything that I have, but at the end of the day, the results are what matter. I need to invest more than I have. I'm not talking about money. A lot of people are going to take this and be like, you're right. I can only afford $100, but I'm going to invest $300 into Bitcoin or Forex or, something stupid. I'm talking about time and energy. Yeah, things take money investments as well. I had to buy one of my employees a laptop. I'll have to invest a lot of time into them. And then I can't not pay them while I'm coaching and training them. So I will actually have to pay them to take the time so that I can coach them so that eventually they can leave my own company. Isn't that ridiculous? Like eventually, unless they're the anomaly and they stick with me forever, I have to literally pay them and coach them so that they can get another job where they get paid more. But if I don't, I'm fucking myself, fucking my clients, and they're going to leave sooner because they're not getting value out of me. That's right. As a manager or leader or even the employer as a whole, especially the employer, the owner, you have to invest in your own people just as much, if not more, than you invest in your clients. Because at the end of the day, if your team is invested in, if they're developed, if they're trained, if they're coached, they'll take care of your clients for you. But the trick is, you don't sit there wallowing about, oh, I'm doing the best that I can, I'm investing everything that I have. Fuck you and your excuses. Do you have the results or do you not? Even with yourself. Oh, are you really trying to get healthy? Well, if the number says otherwise on the scale, fuck your excuses and your reasons. Reasons lead to fantasy land, while facts lead to results. People in this day and age, look at participation trophies. Oh boy, you get a trophy just for trying. In real life, that's not going to happen. If it was my choice, there'd be no such thing as a participation trophy. I love it. I read I forget the guy's name. It was a NFL player that actually took his kid's participation trophy away. I fucking love that. That is awesome. That's one of the best things I've heard. It sounds really awful, right? Like take a trophy from your kid. I don't have kids. Maybe I'll change my mind. But just looking at it, from the outside in, I love that. In real life, people don't succeed based on effort. They succeed based on results. And the people that make it big figure out how to get results in very little time. How did I go from, worrying and scared shitless a couple weeks ago to now I have an employee and a half under me, soon to be 2 full-time employees, and I'm only on, my 4th week of self-employment? I'm looking at the calendar right now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm in the middle of my 4th week. That's not right. 1, 2, 3. I don't know, 3rd or 4th week. It's a little early. The point is, you have to invest more than you think you actually have when it comes to energy and effort. You feel tired? Great. Shut the fuck up. Do the work. DTFW. Do the fucking work. Get that tattooed on your forehead. Do the fucking work. If you're sleeping until 8, fuck you. I'm coming off really strong. I've got a chip on my shoulder today. I'm coming off really aggressive. But I hope it hits home. Results are what matter. Not your fiction, not your reasons, not your excuses, even if you have a legitimate reason. Unless you die, you don't have a valid excuse. Go after the results that you demand. Maybe the problem is you don't demand results from you or your team. No wonder you're miserable. Go after results, invest more energy, time, and effort than you actually believe that you have. It's what I'll wrap up with for episode 48. Tomorrow I'll come back to you with episode 49. As always, subscribe to our exclusive content at riseordiepodcast.com. If you don't, you're missing out. In addition, share this podcast with someone. Do it not for me. Do it for them. You're getting an ass kicking every day by me. A little bit of a verbal assault. I get it. It's rough. I'm pretty aggressive. But if you know someone that you want more for out of their life, share this podcast with someone. That's what I'll end with. I'll talk to you tomorrow for episode 49. Get after it today.